We Got This Africa, proudly brought to you by Frytol. Frytol, you deserve to be well.
Girl, listen.
I once read somewhere that being a single parent is twice the stress, twice the work, and twice the tears. But it's also twice the hugs, twice the love, and twice the pride. I've heard also that people who are raised by single parents really appreciate and love and value independent women. But they're also very quick to tell you that single motherhood is not a road for the faint-hearted. It's hard, and only strong women can walk that path. Some make it, some fail it, but we can't deny it, it's not an easy journey. Today, I'm going to be chatting with two of my friends who are single moms and rocking it on We Got This Africa. My name is Naa Ashorkor. Stay tuned.
We got this.
I'm not a single mom, but I think parenting is tough. Today on We Got This Africa, I'm talking to single moms, and I want to know, is it tough? Like, is it tough?
Definitely.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how tough is it?
10.
I can imagine. Well, first of all, are you single moms by choice?
Yes.
By choice? Not by choice.
No.
Okay, why did you choose this?
Well, I didn't want to be with his father anymore, so obviously at that point I decided that.
Said boy bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy, bye. Yeah. No, I wasn't willing to have him have custody, so I wanted to take care of my child myself.
How has it been?
It's been crazy. It's been crazy. I guess being a single mom, every day you're making tough decisions, and you don't kind of get a manual. And parenting generally is hard anyway. Mm-hmm. And then bringing up a boy as a single mother is extra hard.
At what age, how old was the son when you decided to take him on and be a single parent?
Oh, he was like 2.
2 years old?
Yeah.
2 years old?
Yeah, 2.
The time when they're so stubborn?
Yeah. When they're
wow.
Yeah.
Was it an easy decision for you to make?
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, to be honest, it was an easy decision. I didn't really even think about, I'm going to be a single mom. It was really, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore.
Okay.
So I didn't really kind of think, I'm going to become a single mother. Even till now, I don't even see myself, that's not part of my identity, like I am a single mom. I'm just a parent. Yeah, it's not something that I kind of embody, like I'm a single mom, I'm just a parent. So for me, it was like, I'm done with this relationship and I have a child, so I'm gone.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to think about it.
So yeah, I don't think about myself as a single mom.
Okay, how did you come to be a single parent?
Things didn't work out between their dads and myself.
Okay.
So I have 2 boys.
Okay.
My first is going on 13.
Yes.
Second.
Teenager mom.
Well, you didn't ask how. Right?
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Huh.
I had my first child when I was 19.
19. Wow.
And so you can imagine.
How old were you?
19 too.
Wow. Okay. That's really impressive. So you were in school or out of school?
Out of school. I was in senior high school waiting to go into university.
And you?
Yeah, I just finished college, so I was waiting to go to university.
Okay. Yeah. And you went to university?
Yes,
I went to university.
I did.
Good job. Good job. So what happened? You got out of the relationship and took your child?
The thing is, things didn't really work out between him and I. 19. I mean, it was a tough decision making to keep the child at that time, because at the time his dad's side didn't want the child. They didn't want me to keep the pregnancy. It was tough. I had to stand on my ground and say, listen, I'm gonna have this child. I was upset because his dad was denying he was responsible. And I said, look, the only way to make us find out is to have this child. Because I'm not gonna take the child out and years later they say, she was pretending to be pregnant for him, or she lied about being pregnant for her son or whatever. And so I did go ahead to have my son. Well, in between, I call him a miracle child. So in between, his granddad, who is a medical doctor, says, you know, I'm still not gonna have this. I don't want to be a grandfather, and my son doesn't want to be a father. So they arranged for a DNT in the hospital. I did go for the DNT.
You had a DNC?
I had a DNC. I bled for about, like 8 days. After that, I was really, really sick. I had to be rushed to the hospital 2 weeks later. They ran all the tests on me. Everything came out negative. My mom said to my son's grandfather that, listen, you need to run a scan because we've done every other test we can think of and everything is fine. I mean, her blood level is low, but let's run a scan and make sure everything is out of here. He says, listen, there's nothing in there. He asked me, did you bleed? I said, yes. Well, what's coming out? I said, yes. He says, okay, well, just to settle everything, let's go and have a scan done. So the gynae puts the scan on my tummy and says, dog, come. There's a heartbeat.
Wow.
And then his grandfather is just like standing there, like, it's not possible. It's not possible. The doctor says
the baby was still in your stomach.
At the time we had the DNC, it was 6 weeks, but now the doctor says it's almost 9 weeks with a heartbeat. So we waited.
That's a miracle.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a miracle child. He is a miracle child.
Wow.
Yeah. And I waited. I remember my dad said we should wait for 3 months just to make sure the baby had the limbs and everything intact.
Because
Exactly.
that's very scary.
So at 3 months, we ran another scan. Everything was intact, and I said, "Hey, I'm keeping my baby." So,
wow.
Yeah. So you can imagine. I mean,
that's very traumatizing. Wasn't it traumatizing for you?
You have no idea. I mean, I had suicidal thoughts. I did try to take my life twice.
It's a lie.
I have never said this to you before.
You never said this to me.
I know, but I have. And a friend's mom who's her dad is a pastor. So of course her mom is a pastor's wife. She talked me through the entire time. I tried taking my life twice. I was just tired. Like everybody saying, oh, he's not the one responsible for the pregnancy. You have no idea. 19. Listen, it's God.
Wow. Mine was completely different because I got married at 18.
You got married?
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that either, I guess.
Okay, I don't know my friends as well as I thought I did.
So yeah, I got married at 18.
You had a marriage
yes,
with a husband?
Signing, registry, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, at 18.
You were in love?
Yeah, I was really in love then. So then, yes, I got married and then, then months later found out I was pregnant. So for us, it was kind of like, okay, let's have a baby, we're married. We were going to skip off into the sunset.
You were married. That has still not quite settled in yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I got pregnant, it was all, we're so happy, so excited. So for me, it was never a thing of, I'm going to get rid of it. It was not even something I even considered at the time.
Because you had a loving husband.
Yeah, we were happy, And so had him still really happy about the child, and then later on, obviously realizing the relationship wasn't working, and then deciding to go our separate ways.
So you got a divorce?
Yes.
At 19?
No. So actually, funny enough, so I was separated. We were separated when my son was about 2. We only got divorced about 4 years ago. At some point, I even forgot that I used to be married.
You forgot you had some husband trouble. Oh my days.
So because we were separated and we'd all really moved on with our lives, I'd left England, I'd moved to Ghana. We'd moved on. He had other kids and he's moved on with another woman. So I even forgot that I still needed to go back and, finalize the process.
Why are we laughing right now? So this is really serious.
So yes, I only got divorced about probably like 2 or 3.
Did you have a party?
When I got divorced?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
It wasn't anything because I'd moved on, like emotionally, everything. So
it was just
a process.
There
was no emotion. No, we all moved on. Like there was nothing. We're not trying to like have a conversation like, oh maybe. There was nothing. It was just he has a new wife. Actually, he had even already remarried.
He had remarried, though he was married. Did his wife? No, they had co-wives.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
So it was never. It was just really the process. We just went through the process.
Yeah.
No drama. Just let's end this.
But let me come to Yama. When you the day the baby came, and you knew that this is me and this is my child, and it's going to be the two of us. Was that a scary moment for you, or was it like a happy, oh my God, my child is here?
Happiest moment of my life. I mean, I couldn't stop staring at my baby. I was just looking at him the entire time. I was just looking at him. Oh, but one more thing. I thought it was a girl, so I named him Irama. So I've called my
so
baby.
Kofi is Irama.
Yes.
Oh, Irama Kofi. You got a scan wrong.
They told me it was a boy.
Okay.
I just didn't want a boy. So in my mind, I was having a girl.
Okay.
So
you were shopping for baby girl.
So I had to lift up the diaper.
Just be sure.
It was an amazing moment. I mean, just to know that you were carrying another life.
Yeah.
At 19, and I'm looking at my baby. Look, we're in this, my ride or die.
Yeah.
We're in this together forever.
That moment where you first hold the baby and look at the baby's face, it's I remember looking at my baby and saying, he's so perfect.
Yeah.
Like, he's so perfect. His eyes, his skin, his hair.
You can't stop seeing.
Yeah.
When I had my son, I was just looking at him thinking, I couldn't believe that I made something so beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen.
Even though at that point they all look like potatoes really in hair. Like,
when they're friends, squishy face.
very squishy. But for the mother, this is the most perfect human being ever made. Well, we're talking about motherhood, most importantly, single motherhood today on We Got This Africa. Stay tuned.
We got this.
Choosing the right oil makes all the difference. That is why I always choose Frytol. At Wilma, where Frytol is made, each and every worker wakes up with you in mind.
Really?
And for the millions of other homes too. There, the experts ensure every bottle of Frytol is rich with great taste that creates memories to last their lifetime. Frytol is a cholesterol-free oil fortified with vitamin A.
Now I know why you cook with Frytol. Yes, Dad.
Enjoy great tasting meals with Frytol. Frytol. Love your food, love your life. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
We got this.
If you just joined us, this is We Got This Africa. I'm talking to two of my friends who are single moms, and they're just about to tell me the cool parts about being a single mom. But before we get to the cool stuff, is it difficult, like waking up every morning and being the sole provider for a child? Is it a difficult thing?
For me, the main time I notice is if I'm ill, and let's say I have to take him to school, for example, and trying to figure out, okay, how I'm so ill, so weak, so I can't drive, and then figuring out how do I get him to school, because there's nobody else in the house who can drive, or so nobody else to take him. So trying to figure out if I can find a friend or someone that's going that way to drop him off, or a driver. And in that time, you really feel like, okay, like you really feel alone. And I don't have any family that lives anywhere close to me, so it's just not practical for anyone who's available. So that's in those moments, and when you're ill, or if you're not well, like he still has to eat. If you're not well, he still has to go to school, has to do stuff. So in those moments, that's when I really notice, okay, you know, I'm alone here.
Is it lonely?
Not really for me. Like, I don't feel lonely regarding that aspect.
Parenting.
Yeah, I don't feel lonely. And but if anything, because I run a lot of stuff, even though I don't live with my boyfriend, I still run a lot of stuff by him. Like, okay, this is what's going on. You know, what do you think I should do? Or even with my dad.
Okay.
So I have that kind of...
You have a support system.
Yeah, I do have a support system. So it's not really... Because it's not just about the other parent. Other people who are our parents can also be your support system. So I kind of...
Well, you can have a partner, but who isn't like very supportive.
Yeah,
so a support system that actually works is what you need. What's the most difficult thing for you, Amma, as a single parent?
I think moments where he comes to me and says, there was this one time, he was about 6 or 7, and he said, "Mommy, I want to talk to Daddy." And at the time, his dad and I were not cool. So, I mean, that really hit me. Because then I realized he was looking for a father figure. And I was so caught up with myself and life and everything and trying to take care of him. I felt like he was okay being with just mommy. But then for him to come and ask about daddy, I just had to start thinking twice. And I said, you know what? Let me put my ego aside. It's really not about me. It's about him. So then I just tried to push a bit and then have him get in touch with his dad. So that was like, that thing still resonates.
And for me, once I was going to try and sign him up for a new school. And on the form, they had a part for the father. So I'm just like, okay, that's not necessary. And the school was insistent that I had to provide the father's details. But I'm like, first of all, he doesn't live here. I'm the one paying the school fees. But it was like that idea that your family system is abnormal.
Exactly.
And you find that even in school, so they kind of send that message silently that, oh, there's something wrong with a single parent family. Like there's even in the books, it says stuff like, oh, children from single parent families end up as delinquents and drop out. Yes, it's in the book. It's in the books.
Like their textbooks.
Yes, it's in the books. So you find with the teacher, so they kind of send these subtle messages that the family system that you're operating is abnormal. So the child at home, they're living their life is kind of okay, but then they go to school, they're with other people, and they kind of come back like, okay, what's wrong with my family system? Why isn't there a mommy, a daddy?
Do you feel that or does your child feel that? Do you think that you need to have a boyfriend all the time so that your son can have a father figure in his life?
Absolutely not. Like, my boyfriend wasn't even living here, so he wasn't getting that kind of father figure aspect. It's not something that I feel like maybe I guess he probably does need it.
Have you had a conversation with him
regarding not having a father figure?
Does he ask for a daddy, or does he ask about his daddy? Does he want to have somebody take him to soccer practice?
My son, I think he's well adjusted to the fact that it's just me, and so if he wants to talk to his dad, he just talks to his dad. But he's not really, even with his dad, the relationship's quite distant anyway. And he hasn't really asked for it, because he knows that everything he needs, like, I'll try my best to like provide it. So it's not really like, if you're going to soccer practice, then you find that if I can't take you, then the driver should take you, kind of thing. So I don't know. And now, anyway, nowadays he just says, I've got my own problems, I'm going through puberty, so please don't stress me.
Say what? He tells you what?
He's good. So I tried to broach the subject about if I lived with a man, kind of thing. Said, I don't really care what you do, do whatever, because I'm
How old is he again?
11. I'm going through puberty.
He's 11.
I've got my own problems.
Do you get that with your son? Does he, big boy around you, like, okay, mommy, don't do this with me, don't do that with me?
No, not yet. He's pretty calm, because I'm a very strict mother, to be very honest.
You don't beat him, do you?
Oh, no.
Okay,
no,
good.
No. I used to beat him when he was younger. Hopefully I don't get arrested.
Yeah.
Well, let me just 10 years.
Okay.
No, but not now. He's calm. What I do is shout a lot. So he says, "Mommy, calm down." But mommy, you don't have to get angry.
He tells you to calm down.
My son's always telling me, chill, just chill.
Well, so we're all boy parents, right? I have 2 boys, and so I know that raising boys is tough. I read on Facebook earlier today a comment by a mom, and she said, "Moms of boys, please, how are you doing it? Because I'm losing my mind." And I know, even with my husband present, my husband is an all-present father. He's the man. And I have my sisters helping me, and I have friends helping me. I bring my kids to your house.
You do?
Right? Yo, I have all the help that one can ask for, but it's still hard for me.
Because at the end of the day, they still come back to you.
So how are you doing it when it's just you? I mean, sometimes in the middle of the night, I go and find somewhere and sleep where I know they can't find me. So when they need anything, they go to their father, because, they go to daddy and go and get it, because I want to sleep. So when it's just you, and you said sometimes you're sick, or sometimes you just cannot, sometimes you're tired, sometimes you're dealing with your own. I mean, we're all in our 30s, right? We are at a phase where we're dealing with all sorts and thinking about our future and what's coming, and we're just still trying to figure this life out.
But you know, now.
And then you single-handedly raising a boys. Teenager, almost teenager.
But you know, like she said, you don't necessarily have to have a man around you. You just said that you have a lot of people around you who help with bringing up your child. As we speak now, he's not even with me. He's
on vacation.
Yeah, he's with my godmother.
Yeah.
I live with my brother, his wife, their kids. I really don't have a problem. Honestly, I don't. Maybe years prior to that, I had, but I still had family, extended family, like my uncles, my aunties, because I was living in the family house then. So I still had people around me to help with him. And he's always seen his uncle, my brother, my older brother, as his father figure. Because they used to do literally everything together. Go and cut their hair, they still do it. Gets him food, takes him out. So I think he just wanted, he knows he signs a certain name. And so he wants his dad, because obviously I don't sign his dad's name. And so for him, once he started getting in touch with his dad, that was it. He's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, he's okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't. Sometimes I just can't just go with it, because obviously he's a boy. So there's certain things, like now I realize that his voice is changing, and all of those things, and just trying to figure out how to have those conversations with him. Because I'm female and he's male, each other. So those things are difficult. But then I don't know. You just kind of, for me, I just kind of go with the flow. So I don't see it as a handicap. That's the thing. Yeah. So because I don't see it as a handicap. I don't treat it as that. I just think, okay, this is just an area I'm not well equipped in, not because I'm not.
But do you worry about bringing a man into his life? For example, your boyfriend. Yeah. Do you worry about, okay, I'm seeing this guy, but is he going to be right for my son? Because if he's going to be in my life, he's going to be my son's life. Do I need to, do you date like everybody else dates? Like, okay, I've seen this guy, I like him, I give him a shot. Or you have to go through okay, I have a child. Will this man be okay to be in my child's life? Like, is it more difficult for you to date?
Okay, because part of my criteria is like, when I meet someone, I quickly tell them that, I have a child. So I kind of declare that, like, literally first conversation, second conversation. So, and then your reaction to it will kind of already tell me whether to proceed. Yeah. And even while we're still going, if eventually you get to meet my child, I'll still be watching how you relate to him, how he relates to you. So all of those things will be but the kind of vetting process is always ongoing, because someone can pretend in the beginning, like, oh, I love kids, I really like your child, and then maybe they come around your child and like, like they're, yeah.
What if your child doesn't like your boyfriend? Doesn't matter? Have you ever had a case like that?
Well, my son's very protective over me. Like now, less. As he's growing up, he's becoming, more independent. But before, even if if I say hello to my male friend hugs me, he'll come, hey, don't touch my mummy. Oh. Like he will literally come and yes. Yeah. No way. He was very, very protective.
Wow.
So for him, like I think he just hated all men around.
Oh.
So yeah, but I saw him more as like he's just being protective.
Yeah, but that's
and
really
because
sweet.
He's the boy, you find that he also feels like he's the man of the house. Yeah. So you see him adopting that kind of roles.
And he's 11.
And I'm talking about these things, like when he's 5, 6, you still see them like trying to exert his, mark his territory.
Well, that's cute. Have you had any such
Mine is more
circumstances?
I think I've never had anyone around me who has been mean to him or anything like that.
Okay, but how about him? Does he ever think that I don't like this man, or I don't like this? Is it?
I don't like your uncle.
I don't like your uncle.
I don't like you, uncle.
He said, what? I don't like you, uncle.
God.
And what happened?
It was so embarrassing.
What did you do? Did you have to apologize, or did you break it off?
I mean, I couldn't. It was funny. I laughed, and uncle didn't find it funny.
Yeah, uncle would not find it funny. I stand with uncle. That's not cool.
But why did he not like him? What was the reason?
There was no.
He didn't buy him chocolates and stuff.
No, really,
he just kind of saw his face and said, don't like his spirit.
So did you think, okay, I need to break it off with uncle?
I did, because I feel like your kids they have this thing with them.
Sense.
Yeah, the sense with them. They're able to sense things we probably can't sense.
They can see who's evil.
So and honestly,
evil uncle.
That uncle was an evil
See, See, your child delivered you. Your child saved you.
So I kind of go with his judgment most of the time. I do.
Wow, I see. And that's something to think about. But is it a cool thing to be a single mom? Because in our world today, I hear a lot of ladies our age saying, you know what, I just want a man to get pregnant and have a child with. A lot of women nowadays who aren't all about the marriage thing want to have a child, and they have these conversations with men who, you know, tick all the boxes. He's intelligent, he's spiritual, he's handsome, he's from a good home. I want my son to have these genes. I want to have a child with you. This is a conversation I have heard a few times, and so it's almost as if the family system is changing. Or, well, the family system has always been dynamic, but now a lot of people are leaning more towards, I want to have a child, and if I get married, fine. If I don't care. So is it like a cool thing now to be a single mom?
But to be honest, I don't think is really that new. This whole idea of this, because if you look at a lot of our grandmothers, a lot of them were single parents. A lot of them had a child with this man. She realized the relationship's not working. She moves on to like, I don't have time. Like, I think we are actually less, like, we're more
tolerant.
Yeah, and we actually think more, I want to stay married. But a lot of our grandmothers, they didn't have time. Like, she'll have 7 children, 5 men. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't give a damn.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a new thing.
Okay.
I just think, if anything, like now, I think more women are realizing that, okay, I can still be a mom, I can still be a parent, and if I don't want a drama of a relationship, and that's also a valid choice. Just recognizing the fact that it's a valid choice. And people shouldn't judge you for making that choice.
So if you could do it any different, would you?
Would I?
Do you have times when you think, I should have stayed with my
absolutely
husband?
not.
No.
Absolutely not. Like, no, not at all. Like, not at all.
No.
What did he do?
Not at all. We're just,
It just didn't work out.
Yeah, it just didn't work out.
It doesn't work out now.
It doesn't work out.
It doesn't work out. You have a child to bring. The child is the most important thing. And I remember my family said, after you have the child, he has to come and marry you. At 19 now, I took my own decisions. I don't even know how I did it. I said, listen, I'm not getting married to him. I'm not getting married to somebody who can take responsibility for stuff that he's done. I can't live with somebody like that just because I have a child. No, who am I trying to impress?
Yeah.
So listen, I will take care of my child, and I did take care of him. So I won't say it's cool or it's not cool. Listen, if you have the support system, why not? But don't go into a marriage or settling down with somebody that you know 100% for sure that it won't work because you have a child with them.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And it's even more
that's absolutely
toxic.
valid. But for you who was already in the marriage and had a child and decided to go out, now that's a decision that a lot of women battle with, because they are in a marriage, they have a child or 2, and they realize the marriage is toxic or it's not working, but because of the child, they'll stay in the marriage. So for you to exit,
That was a bold.
That's like really bold, and I should commend you for that, because it's something that a lot of women struggle with. And even when you find the courage to say I'm leaving, you have all mommies and all aunties and all of the world telling you that the child for the child,
and I think it's also because we keep forgetting that if a marriage is toxic or a relationship is toxic, that's actually even more detrimental to the child. So this whole idea of you're staying because of the child is actually you should leave because of the child. But if you actually want, because why should the child be in a space where every day mommy and daddy can't stand each other? There's just there's frostiness every day. They're always coming home, and the thing is, kids as young as they are, even when they're very young, they can pick up on all of these vibes. They know when the two of you don't have a good relationship.
At 2 years old, did your child ever notice or say anything to you?
Oh no. Then he was too young. Like he was too young to really.
But now does he ask you what happened?
Right now we've had a lot of conversations regarding it. Like he knows that, but I don't tell him everything. I don't tell him everything. Maybe when he's a bit older. But I just told him that it wasn't working. The two of us, it just wasn't going to work, and it's never going to work.
Have you had to explain to your son, okay, this is why, mommy, you live with only mommy?
Not yet. But he's turning 13. I think I owe it to him.
Is it a conversation that scares you?
Not at all. I know his dad and I didn't part ways on a good note. I mean, I don't want him to see his dad as a bad person.
Because he's not.
because he was young. He was as young as I was. Maybe I was able to make decisions at that age. He's different from me. He probably couldn't handle it because he was a dadaba, pampered.
Just like you.
Oh, memenya dadaba.
Oh, yeah, dadaba. Oh, come on, Tizori.
Debbie.
Oh, yeah, sure.
The cheese might be coming.
Okay, so you feel that now that I have a teenager, I have to be able to sit him down and have the conversation.
I have to.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm going to go about it.
But for me, I never had it. It was never like a, hello, let's sit down and talk about why I'm not with your father. It just kind of comes up. Maybe he'll ask a little question and then I'll make a comment here and there. It was never like a sit down, let's have this full-blown conversation. Because it was just, and for me, his life has always been, for most of his life that he can remember, I was never with his dad. So he has very little.
You are who he knows.
Yeah, and he doesn't have that recollection of us being in this family.
Yeah.
Now he hears about it, but he
won't miss it.
Yeah, he can't miss something that he never had. Yeah.
Right. We're talking about single motherhood, and I'm enjoying this conversation. We Got This Africa is on. We'll be right back.
We got this.
Choosing the right oil makes all the difference. That is why I always choose Frytol. At Wilma, where Frytol is made, each and every worker wakes up with you in mind.
Really?
And for the millions of other homes too. There, the experts ensure every bottle of Frytol is rich with great tastes that creates memories to last the lifetime. Frytol is a cholesterol-free oil fortified with vitamin A.
Now I know why you cook with Frytol. Yes, Dad.
Enjoy great tasting meals with Frytol. Frytol. Love your food, love your life. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
We got this.
We're just wrapping up our conversation on single motherhood on We Got This Africa today, and Alma and Felicity have a word for us moms, right? Who are in various circumstances where it looks like you just might be a single mom and not sure what to do. So Felicity, you were in a marriage and then you decided, boy, bye, because it wasn't working, and you up and left with your son. This is a situation that a lot of women are in and don't know what to do. How do you come to this decision? How do you find the strength against all opposition, which I'm sure you had?
Yeah, of course.
To do this.
I think you have to prioritize your child. That's the main thing. And you have to recognize that it's damaging for a child to be in a household where the parents, when the relationship is toxic, when the two of you are not getting along. Like, this affects children, their development, their mental health, their emotional health. It's actually very damaging.
And the kind of husbands or wives they become.
Exactly, and even so, because this is the first time they're seeing a relationship. So as they grow up, these are the same traits,
the model relationship
that they're going to be taken into their adulthood. So you have to ask yourself, if it's a son, do I want him to be like this type? Is this the type of father I want him to be? Is this the type of husband I want him to be? If it is a woman that's toxic, is this the type of mother that I want? So I just think women would think about you. Don't say, I'm still with him, he's beating you. These things are so damaging to children. I can't even explain. When you speak to people whose parents were in who lived in abusive households, and you listen to their stories, seeing that your dad is battering your mom on a daily basis, you don't want to do anything bad because you don't want your dad to get angry at your mom. And children tend to internalize these things. They feel like, oh, maybe they're the ones, they're doing something wrong, because they're so young, they don't even recognize that it's not them. They start thinking that, oh, maybe I'm the cause of these issues. So you're actually projecting your issues and everything onto them. So don't feel like I have to stay because of the kids. If the relationship is toxic, leave because of your kids.
Wow. And another thing that's hard is when you get pregnant for someone you're not married to, and you feel that because you're pregnant, you should get married. Heck, nowadays, if you're getting married, the first question you're asked is, are you pregnant? Right? Because it's become the norm that if you are pregnant for someone, then the next thing, you know, is you should marry them. And it's all good if you're in a loving relationship. Exactly. But when you aren't, or when you feel that it's not working, that's the situation you found yourself in.
We tend to think about what society thinks about us way too much. You're going to be in a relationship, you're living with this person. Society doesn't care about what's happening in your home or what's happening with you. Who are you trying to impress? It's all about your child. It's really got nothing to do with you or the child's father. Listen, there's a reason there are red flags. There's a reason you're not even married to the person at that point. Well, if it's a perfect relationship, if it's a cool relationship, by all means, settle down. If they have been red flags raised, now walk away. You don't have to be walking away. Doesn't necessarily mean the child's father is not involved in the child's life. Listen, don't be angry, don't be upset. It happened to me, and I realized I was hurting my child. I was so upset with him. I didn't want to have any contact with him or his family whatsoever. I realized it was affecting my son when he came to me, and I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna put my ego aside. I'm gonna get in touch with them. He spends time with his grandparents. He speaks to his uncles. He speaks to his grandparents. Big deal. I did this for him. He's a happier boy now. He's a happier child. And it didn't cost me anything. It's even given me peace of mind, you know? So it doesn't necessarily mean that because he's done something to you, I'm going to keep the child away. Listen, the more you keep the child away from the man, the more you are bitter. You don't want your child to see you in that kind of situation. Just let it go. Think about your child and just flow. I mean, let the child hang around with the dad. You don't necessarily have to be in the same house. No. Just let it go.
And children are not the glue to fix a relationship that's broken. Yeah. Because a lot of people, you're in a bad relationship, but then you feel like, oh, I need to stay in this relationship. Okay, we're having a child, so maybe the child will fix things. Children cannot fix that, and you shouldn't place that level of responsibility on a child. That's not their role.
Right.
Wow. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I've heard so much and I've learned so much, and I hope that you two have done same. It's very revealing, like all the things that you have said. I'm so grateful to you guys, and power to you. Keep being awesome, and hugs and kisses to the boys.
Thank you.
Parenting with both parents is hard. So being a single parent, single mom or single dad requires a lot of strength, the grace of God, and a decision to decide that if this is what's best for my child, this is what I'm going to do. So to all the single parents watching us right now, I say power to you. Keep being and doing you, and always remember, what's best for the child should always be top of your mind. My name is Naa Ashorkor, and this has been We Got This Africa. Thank you for watching.
It only makes us stronger. Whatever you do, do them well. Make you no worry. We go stay okay, we go be alright. No, Inyami, go chichino. Inyami, ban your faith. Inyami, walk on Jan. Kenya fe, oh ban your faith. Inyami, go chichino. Inyami, ban your faith. Inyami, walk on Jan. Kenya fe, oh ban your faith. 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 We got this. Kenya fe, oh ban your faith.
We Got This Africa, proudly brought to you by Frytol. Frytol, you deserve to be well.